Okay, good. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to another riveting episode of the Flash and Dash podcast. Welcome back, sir. Yes.
What's good?
His
What's good? We
triumphant
back,
return.
baby.
My man, my
In
partner
this
in crime, Dash.
beat.
What's good? How you feel?
Yo, I'm good, man. Living the dream. Living the
Excellent.
dream. How you doing,
Glad to
man?
hear that. I'm straight. I'm here. We
Yeah.
living. We surviving. Another week, another year, another
Another
month,
week.
all
Another
that
week.
shit.
Another week. What game is you playing?
What am I playing? I am, well, I'll tell you about what I'm playing. Before I tell
Uh-oh.
you about what I'm playing, with us as always, the best
Uh-oh.
producer in the business, Dre Dubs. What's good?
Big Dre. Hey, Dre, show me
What
a
up?
camera real quick.
Oh my
Show him
goodness.
again. Show him again.
They don't want
Show
to.
the people.
That's
Again?
Show the
I don't know
people.
if they're ready
mean,
for it.
they
Show
saw
the people. Show the people. I mean, you ain't got to. Peer pressure.
peer pressure,
Oh,
peer pressure. See what
oh.
happens. See what
Hey,
happens.
look, what is that?
They
What
got
is that?
see it takes it a
Webcam
moment to pop
utility?
up and everything. What's good, everybody? What's up?
It's
I'm
so
here.
clean.
But
It's so
I just gotta
clean. Y'all
show it
not
up in
ready.
4K
That's
a little bit and
crazy.
everything,
Y'all not ready. It's
just
so
just
That,
clean.
just
that
trying it out,
man
That's why he's
flexing.
the best producer
It
in the
is what
business.
it is.
Yeah, man. He can't share the love, though. We over here
Oh, they
with
gonna get
great
We're
there soon.
slumming
value
it.
equipment.
It's gonna happen soon.
It's
Someone
equipment.
had to be the first one to try it out,
You're
Hey,
right. Somebody got to do it first.
So
Somebody got
I
to
took
do
that
it
that man
first.
fell on
sacrifice.
the sword. That's all right. It's all good. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
But yeah,
Nah,
what am
Jinx,
I
you owe me a
playing?
soda.
Wow. I am playing
Childish.
so Skyrim hit Game Pass on the 15th, to which I promptly Game Pass the best deal in gaming history, to which
Hey,
I
yo.
promptly downloaded it. I mean, I had called that from jump from way
Yeah, you
back.
did.
So
Mm.
and it happened. And then we got it. And I had made claims that I would play it because I had played it before in the past when it was out, but we talking Xbox 360 days. Um and I didn't play enough of it. I only got to play a little bit of it because life. But I'm like, all right, let me jump back in and see what I'm missing here. Oh man, it's been like, I don't know, an hour and a half ish, and I'm getting ready to play nothing else except Skyrim. Like,
Oh,
I'm just like, I'm so enthralled by, I don't know, man. It's just like you can get lost, but you're not lost. Like we were talking about that before, but it's just like you can just aimlessly just like, all right, just kind of get lost in the world. But the game keeps you on track.
it
So
does. In its own
while
way.
and we're gonna get to Cyberpunk, but while they figure out whatever they gotta figure out,
Yo.
I got I got plenty going on with Sky. It's so crazy that, you know, there was such concern, and not just, I want to say, not just for Microsoft, but next gen in general. There was so much concern about, oh, what games they're going to be to play, and oh, Sony got this but Microsoft don't got this, and blah, and vice versa, whatever the case may be. And oh my god, they're not going to have Halo. And it's just like how quickly that became such a forgotten thing. But I kept telling people how I've been toting
Already.
the Game Pass
Already.
flag for months. So I've been telling people
Already.
like, yo, don't worry about all of that, because once you have Game Pass, then you're gonna forget about everything else, because they're just gonna keep throwing things at
Listen,
you
you just go
every
wake up every
week.
day and just be like, let me
On
see.
the
Let me click
game,
Game Pass, see if something new drop.
like
Oh,
just
yeah.
like I have a backlog so long just because of Game Pass. I don't even remember last time I even bought just a game. Like I haven't had to. It's not even necessary. So I'm just
It's
like,
not.
man, and I'm not even,
It's
again, I'm
not.
not even mad that Halo got that delay, because do what you got to do. It end up being a calendar year delay. Do what you got to do.
Well, a calendar year delay to land on the anniversary.
Hey, that's fine.
Uh,
Perfect marketing. They
what?
knew what they were doing.
They
with
probably
the
did that on purpose.
with the follow up delay, they were like, you know what? It's not
It's
going to be
actually
ready.
This actually
We're gonna need
works
this to come out in the
out
fall.
oddly.
Are you playing anything? What are you playing? I feel like
I'm
you're not playing
actually
anything. It's
actually
weird.
I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk.
Wow, a lot.
I've been in Keith mode,
Hmm.
so yeah, I'm behind, bro.
Wow. So
Um,
I'm glad you said that.
but
I'm
yeah.
glad you mentioned that because we got questions. We see the tower of power in the back. So,
Oh yeah,
we
that thing
got
over there next to Big Future Trunks. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? Big
We
homie over there.
we got we got questions. Me and Dre had unanswered questions about um I guess we had some of the things, some of the quick resume things. There was one game we were talking about in particular, but that's neither here nor there. Cyberpunk, because we have our
Which has
experiences.
quick resume.
Okay, good. So that was one thing that I think it was a question that we had from last week, but
Which I was
um,
surprised at, given everything that's going on.
yeah. So we spoke about the issues that they had, a lot of issues with the previous gen and the base previous gen systems. I'll tell you what, do this one better because between last week and now, CD Projekt Red took to Twitter with their um statement. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with statement that reads as such. Dear gamers, first of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Put a pin in that. Second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released, and the next one is coming within the next 7 days, which ended up being like hotfix 1.04 or whatever, I think. Expect more
Which
as we
came
will,
late, but
yeah,
saying that.
expect more as we will update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches, starting with patch 1 in January. This will be followed by patch 2 in February. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on last gen consoles. We will be informing you about the contents of each patch ahead of their release. They won't make the game on last gen look like it's running on a high spec PC or next gen console, but it will be closer to that experience than it is now. Finally, we would always like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate it if you would give us a chance. Put a pin in that. If you are not pleased with the game on your
I'm
console
sorry.
and
Continue. That was funny.
and don't want to wait for updates,
Yo.
you can opt to
I love it.
refund your copy. For copies purchased digitally, please use the refund system of PSN or Xbox respectively. Put a pin in that. For box versions, please first try to get a refund at the store where you bought the game. Should this not be possible, please contact us at blah, 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 and we will do our best to help you. Starting from today, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st, 2020. Humbly, blah, 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 blah. PS, PC gamers will also be getting regular updates and fixes improving the game. End of statement. So, I'm going to sit on two sides of this because
One moment. And then also it came out today, I believe. Is that
mhm,
today or yesterday?
Yeah, no, I was
That
gonna talk about it.
that the game has cost founders around one
1
billion
billion, right?
dollars. Yep.
A
yeah,
billion.
that's no chunk of change. That's
Billion.
no small
Or I'm
nominal
sorry, not founders, investors. Investors.
investors. Yes.
1
So,
billion.
which leads me to uh, I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to pick something. First of all, I will sit on both sides of this because I understand both sides of this. From a business standpoint, first and foremost, I can slightly empathize with CD Projekt Red because, first of all, the pressure I'm sure they had that they were under to get this game, even though this game has been in development for how many ever years now it's been, 7,
8.
8, 10, whatever, right? The last things that you have
Probably
to
longer.
do, yeah, the
Probably more like 12.
last, probably the last, coming down to the last year within release, there's still a lot of stuff to be done. And this year was not a great year to have to get that stuff done with COVID and just in general. Like, this was not a good year to have to get anything done for the release of a game. However, with that said, this could have been part of this could have easily been resolved from April, because this game originally was supposed to come out April this year. This game should have been, from that date, should have been delayed to next April, just straight off the top. No, like, oh, let's do June, let's do August, let's do. Should have been April. You know what? It's not ready. It'll be ready next year, April next year, just off the top, because they knew what. Jumping back to the other side now, they knew what this game looked like on all across the board, whether it was next gen, PC, really, because you don't have a next gen version yet, official. I mean, a console next gen, I'll say.
Yeah.
So you know what it looked like on PC. PC gamers are getting the best experience of this game. Okay, they're just
And it's
getting
beautiful.
usual, right? They're just getting usual bugs. Okay, so for a game that of this size, which is expected, whether it's The Witcher, whether it's Skyrim, whether it's Fallout, games that are structured like that are going to have bugs. Okay, get
Period.
used to it.
Period.
Just deal with it.
Don't matter how long it's been in development.
Right.
Period.
It
'Cause
don't
as soon
matter.
as you pass the code to another operating system,
Right.
then a bug, it's gonna
Correct.
happen.
And that's why patches exist. That's why you have to release a game eventually, because the community has to tell you what's wrong with it, because you can only sample size testing.
You can only pay so
Because
many people.
exactly. It's not until you get this game into the hands of millions of people that you're going to figure out what's really little things that there was no way you'd be able to catch by letting a few thousand people test it out. There's no way. So again, it should have been delayed. They knew what it looked like. They knew it wasn't ready for consoles. They knew. And starting
But they knew like 2 years ago. Because
They did know 2 years ago.
because if Dre, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they released some sort of statement in relation to the first delay, and it had to do with the compatibility of the dev kit they were using
think
in
you're right.
relation to the old gen console. Now, technically, yeah, now old gen console, previous
Yeah.
current gen. And they were struggling with it. They were
Yeah.
struggling with getting the game to operate properly, and that's part of the reason it got pushed back.
It is. And this is
You are
why
correct.
good. And this is why also one of my opinions for this game, unfortunately, Cyberpunk fell into a funky release window. Because had this game been slated for release, let's say 2 years from now, it wouldn't even had to touch current gen, quote unquote, last gen, whatever. This game and the way it's structured should have been
A next gen console exclusive,
PC and
PC.
next gen console only,
period.
strictly.
Just
2
like
years from now.
just like the medium is going to be here in January.
Right. It just should have been a game that's being touted as this one has been. It just fell in a bad time frame. It just really did, and it had to be playable across the board, because you can't leave 170 million people in the dark at the moment. You just can't.
Oh,
There's
but
too much
I
money
was
on the
going
table.
to if I was them.
I mean, they could have. They could have.
Like, there's no way that would even be sustainable, because
Mhm.
even the current, even sports games, even EA, even 2K, for example,
Mhm.
handling a mid-release window switch into next gen, they barely even handle. well at all. And they haven't even back when they went from 360 to the next gen before that or after that. They had the same problem. The games weren't necessarily ready,
Right.
but the games, just like you said, 2 years after,
Yeah, this could have been.
those
This
are the
could have been.
games or the games that release with the console, but only alongside of it and not any other one, but to spread it across all those different facets, all those different dev kits, which are all different.
And the crazy thing is that the issues that this game is having, it is a base PS4 and Xbox One problem, because what little of it I played on my Xbox One X, I don't. The problems that I see people have on base Xbox Ones, I don't have those problems.
I would be in a riot just the same, but I'm just like, I don't have that experience, so I can't
You do,
speak to it.
it's tough. It's a tough position to have to be in, because you're like, ah, and it sucks that you have to deal with that. But this game is literally either can rate a 9 or a 3 based on where you're
Yeah,
playing.
literally just based off of where you're playing, because this game is
That is
literally
crazy.
like a couple of things away from being perfect.
Right. And that's the problem. The the underlying problem behind all of this is that there's a fantastic game here that we're talking about. But the
And a
problem is that,
fantastic company, at least so we
yes,
thought.
it is. And
Well, they're talented, period. There's no
they
question in their
are. I
talent.
think coming off of The Witcher 3, obviously it's high expectations, but this is a company that had done everything right in the past. Even when it came to their employees, just in general, coming off of The Witcher 3 and everything that they had done for, in terms of doing things for the community, and a lot of that DLC for Witcher initially was
Was
like
free.
free.
Yeah.
Like that everything they did was right. And this is a huge misstep for a company that had done nothing, that had done only right in the past. But for them,
So
they're stepping into, to me, they're also stepping into different territory because they're getting bigger. Because before Cyberpunk, The Witcher was really The Witcher 3 and 2, and that was really only games that they had ever made.
it was only games they ever needed to
Right.
or had to, not even needed to, had to.
So, like, stepping into this kind of limelight, and with this game having the expectation that it had, they had they ran into problems with this. Going off that first part of that statement where they said, they apologized for not showing the game on base last gen consoles.
But right
I don't
there,
I don't buy that shit, because I'll tell you why I don't buy that shit, because I say miss me with that apology, because you can't say that, but on the other hand, you only gave out review codes for PC copies of the game. There was no codes for console games
so,
put
so
out there
which
for review.
so
None.
which means, like you said, like everyone knows, they knew what the
They
product
knew.
was. They released it anyway. But for me, off of GP, even though you know it's a loss, you say, hey, if you have previous gen consoles, you gotta wait a year.
Right. To do that. So
Like this
yeah, some
game is
people are
just
gonna be
not
mad, but
ready. It is literally just not ready. If we release it to you now, it'll be unplayable. If you say it's unplayable on
that's all you need
current
to
gen
say.
console, that's
And
literally
we
all you need to
and
say.
we've
And people will be mad, but
people be
they'll
mad,
be
but
okay.
it's not gonna be long.
They be like,
But
damn, I'll
and this
just
is
get a new console.
right.
Fuck.
And this is always what I told people. We've talked about this in the past. I've talked about this plenty of times. Delays are, you've forgotten about it in a couple of days. When a company is like, "Oh, we got to delay such and such game," and you're like, "All right,
Literally, you know
it
it's
may get a
coming.
few days of conversation." Every time Nintendo delays a new Zelda game, nobody's in uproar,
Nobody bats
because
an eye. It's
because
like,
Nintendo's like, it's Zelda, so we have to delay it, because when it comes out, it's going to be a 10. we're delaying this because it's not up to masterpiece expectation, and if it's not at that, then we have to delay
And people were
it.
okay with that with
Always.
CD Projekt Red
Yes, absolutely. You have a track record of
because
making
their track record of being so good.
right.
So through that, knowing you have all of these people that rock with you, you
They
can be transparent enough to with your community that
yeah,
invests in you or that is
right.
going to. The game is just not ready
Yeah.
on previous
This
gen.
is
It's not built for previous gen. We thought
right.
it was. Turns out it's not.
Not at all.
And
And
if
they knew it wasn't.
and they knew it wasn't.
I'm sure they knew
So
in April it wasn't.
so now they could very well get them probably a fucking fire ass lawsuit coming.
Look,
Bleep me out,
that's why I
Dre, on
said
that one. But like literally
no,
they've already you said they've already lost $1 billion. There's no,
yeah.
it's going to be a tough
This
sell, but at the same time, the game is going to survive
yes,
off
of course it
off the
will.
strength that multiplayer is coming.
And it still runs well on
And it
PC.
still runs well on PC. The modding community about to go crazy with that damn game.
And once the PC and once, the PC is going to get, patches for whatever bugs exist there,
Mhm.
and it'll be the game that everybody wants it to be on PC at least. I mean, the console versions will get patches to make it, you know,
Free
kind of what PC
content.
gamers are getting now
Mhm.
before they get their fixes. So, but at the same time, it'll be fine, but they have a lot of work to do to repair this image from this for this release of this game. Because if you start talking about, okay, what's the next game CD Projekt Red is going to be, and everybody starts talking about The Witcher 4, all right, I got some work to. You're going to lose a percentage of pre-orders that you would have gotten for The Witcher 4 because of this.
They can't announce The Witcher 4 until this blows over tenfold.
Yeah,
Like they
all the
gotta
way.
CD Projekt Red gotta come with the multiplayer and it gotta be just as strong, if not more innovative and better and working properly than GTA 5 multiplayer. If they
Yep.
can even come close to the level of the depth of that and the community and get the community behind it,
Right.
they'll make that money back that they lost on microtransactions alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And and the whole thing with this refunds.
Oh, pause. They also removed the game from the Sony library.
Mm,
Um,
really?
yeah, that happened like today. I'm pretty sure. Dre, you can also check me on that. I'm pretty sure it happened today or yesterday, one of the
Yeah,
two. But it's
today
not in
Cyberpunk
their
was
library.
removed from the PlayStation Store,
Wow. That's
and
something.
the news that or what was attached with it just said until further notice. So pretty much, if they
That's
do re-release it, probably just be PS5 only.
that's crazy. Wow, I did not know that.
So like even people who have a PS4 Pro that aren't having too many issues may not be able to get their installs or updates or
Right.
patches because the game isn't available
So wow,
technically.
because that means they were probably getting so many refund requests that they were like, "Yo,
Yeah, no.
take
The
this
game
off."
don't
And that's
exist
not.
no more.
And that the crazy part about it is, I was just getting ready to mention the fact that they went ahead and put this statement out and didn't run that by Microsoft or Sony. We're just like, "Yo, go check them
Oh
for
yeah.
refunds." And Microsoft and Sony were like, "No, bro, what?
That's not how this works with
That's
digital
not that's not how
purchases.
our policy works. What are you talking about?"
Sony was like,
Like,
I guess it's really, really, really bad. Xbox is like,
they're like, nah. I mean, first of all, Microsoft needs to go back to Microsoft used to have their digital policy used to be like how Steam's is, and then they changed it. They
was it
need to
like
just go back.
what's
Steam
Steam's?
Steam is you can play a game for a couple of hours um within, like 2 weeks, and you can still get a full
I
refund.
thought it was still that way.
No, they changed
Maybe.
Microsoft changed it
Oh,
some time ago. I don't know when, but they need to
Well,
just
the
go
other
back to
thing
doing it that
is
way.
people also have to realize if they get their game refunded, they also lose that ability for the free upgrade when they do move to a next gen system.
Correct.
Mm.
And they talking about
But at that point, if they're getting a refund, you would probably think they just done with the game altogether.
right. Yeah, pretty much. Like,
'Cause
yeah,
honestly, if I bought the game
I'm not
and
gonna
I
go back.
turned it on and it looked like that, I'd be like, well, I'm just gotta
I'm not
wait
playing
till I get my
this.
new console. Because if I didn't get the refrigerator back there, I was gonna have the game and I just wasn't gonna play it, probably.
I'm not even having those crazy
But
issues, and I'm still gonna wait for the patches. Like I said, I'm just gonna play Skyrim. Fucking
Said I have it.
God
I've
damn
played a couple of
Skyrim.
hours of it, but I'm probably gonna wait a little bit until I get the Series X.
Yeah, because I don't want to get too involved in it, and then like it crashes somewhere, and some shit happens, and I'm be mad. Like,
and
I,
those are the times where I find myself pulling back out of the game. Like I put in, I think I could probably check, but I probably put in maybe 50 hours so far, I think.
Hmm.
And I've enjoyed my time wholeheartedly. Like it has aspects of Skyrim, it has aspects of Yakuza almost, kind of
mm-hmm.
just some of those funny, quirky moments. It has the GTA
Grand Theft
feel. It
Auto.
has the
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 4 driving feel where
Mm-hmm.
cars actually have weight and stuff like that. Customization was a little overplayed. It's not as in depth as
Yeah.
they made it out to be.
Yeah. Like when I was setting my character up, I was like, I feel like there should be more options here.
Like
Like
in
the way
plenty of
everybody was touting it, I'm
JRPGs,
like,
there's way more
yeah.
customization.
I was like, and then
Just
there's like no option to like change the way your character looks after you start the game. If I'm not mistaken, like you can't change it.
yeah, there's no like plastic surgery you can pop into and
Like
like get
why?
any
Like
alterations
yeah,
to your
you
face or
GTA, you
anything
can
like
change
that.
your hair. You can go to the barber and get a different hairstyle.
Again,
Like,
all things I think
how'd you not write that into this game?
all things I think were in this game at one point
Maybe, maybe at the onset.
because I think they definitely had to gut
You
a
probably
lot of
right.
this
You probably right.
with all the delays. I'm sure I couldn't even tell you how much they probably cut just to get that game working on that console.
Right. This is why, again, the expectations have to start changing in the community.
But how do your expectations grow? I mean, people are gonna always pre-order those games. People are pre-ordering games no matter.
I had, I briefly, I had a discussion, while I was kind of giving my thoughts on this in one of the Discord channels that I'm in, uh, and
36
it,
hours.
and I was explaining to them, I'm like, the way this works on PC is, because for a few years, many years back, I had spent that time heavy in the PC game, and I'm just like, in the PC world, this is obviously not to this extent, but when you play
Mhm.
games on PC, there's an expectation, like, yeah, there's gonna be some bugs, and once it is gonna drop, and there's gonna be a patch, and the developers, and on PC, there's usually a direct pipeline, like where you go to the game's forums and
Mhm.
you put the information in there, and developers get the
Yeah,
information directly. You just go to the forum and you put the shit in there, and they're like, okay, so they look through all of that and create these patches based on this information that they're getting. So that's just a thing, that if your expectation now is these next gen consoles from here on out, referencing the PS5 and the Xbox Series, everything's, you should just, if you want these things to function and look and feel like a PC, because that's what everybody's really asking for, right? That's what everybody, console gamers, like, oh, I want power. I want it to be like a PC. All right, that's what you want to get,
you gonna
but
get these PC
again,
titles
keep, like I said last week, like that's what you're gonna get.
because
You're
that's
gonna
what
get this PC.
Cyberpunk is. It's a PC title,
This is a whole PC game. As soon as I
and
fired it up, just the
and
way the cursor
Xbox,
moves, like, this
and
is a PC
we
game.
and we all got the PC port,
Yeah,
and
this
the
is a
previous
ported
gen
PC.
consoles got the worst version of it.
Yes, that does everybody needs to understand. Like this is a ported PC game. Like they built this entire game on PC and then was like, okay, how do we make it work on console? That's how this went. Okay, so
They
I
were
need
like,
everybody to understand that.
they had to just anticipate and hope that the consoles and the power of them
Mm-hmm.
would be able to uphold the port. But
Correct.
the sheer size of the game, and I'm sure all the code into every, which I think a lot of people don't understand when you look at this dynamic world outside of the clip-ins and all the weird shit that's happening off in the background when you're
Mm-hmm.
walking around and shit. But when you're looking at the world, when you're walking around, every part is doing something.
That's what, and exactly,
Every
and this is what,
cop is doing something. There's
and
an
this
accident
is
on the street. Cops are walking around,
this
investigating
is
it, having a conversation with each other. People
right.
on their phone down the block, looking at it like,
And this is what I talked with Dre about this last week, and when we got on there, we talked to C about it, and I'm just like, games like this where the game is functioning independently, without any relation to you as the player. You as the player are just a part of a living, breathing world.
they're just waiting on you
Everything
to push
else,
certain buttons so it can
right?
react to you.
Yeah, correct. Everything else is happening. Now, I've heard obviously the funky things that sometimes the immersion stops because like sometimes it's like the Truman Show where like if you walk out in front of in front of a car, like everything stops because it's then waiting for you to do something. But otherwise, other than those funky things,
Right.
um
Like there was one time I was walking on the highway and like I was looking down and I was looking and waiting on cars to come and they would never come. They would just clip and disappear. Like
yeah,
and,
that's a
and
little
like
weird,
literally
but
looking, waiting for a car because I want one, didn't want to buy one, needed one, wasn't coming. What
yeah,
I just
that
had to, and I ended up having to walk like a kilometer back to
yeah,
town.
see that's funky stuff where when you compare stuff like that, when you compare it to GTA,
Like you
you stand
not
out in the
getting
middle of the
that.
street of GTA, the in front of a car, it's either gonna one hit you, two the NPC random generated NPC is gonna honk the horn, curse, and drive around you. Like that's how GTA functions. That stuff like that is apparently missing from this game, which oddly it shouldn't be. But
But a lot of the time the cars operate like they're AI,
mhm.
which kind of works because they
Okay, I
are.
understand what you're saying. Right.
So like they'll dead ass smack you, but they also won't do shit either.
Hmm.
Weird, quirky things that are definitely bugs.
Right. Yeah. This again.
But again, yeah,
This is where we're going. This is what PCs. This is what you get when you want these kind of games and you want more power. You're gonna get more bugs, and just you just have to trust your developer to patch it, like, and to make it playable, make it better, like, and trust good companies, which is what we thought CD Projekt Red was. I still believe they are. If this was
I do.
EA, you could just write this game off.
Oh, absolutely. Call
You
it another
could
anthem.
just
Call it what it is. It's done.
write this off.
Trash it. It's over. It's over. CG. They had insurmountable hype and made a couple of really bad PR moves,
Right. This is,
like unexcusable PR moves.
yes,
Period.
exactly. This is
That they should take a hit for.
yeah, 100%. This is they're getting more in the limelight. They're
Bad
gonna
press, good
start
press
making
thing, you
more
know.
games. So they just need to take a page out of Bethesda's book because they've been doing. That's the company that's been doing these type of games for years, and they've kind of mastered the process. They're like, "Yo, it's coming," but
Even
this is
when
coming with bugs.
even when Fallout 76 happened and they got
Yeah,
thrashed and
they
then they
did,
made a
but
couple
they
of bad
recovered.
decisions
They
and
recovered, and that game became playable.
they released that $100 season pass and then had to take it down and give out
Oof.
refunds. Like really bad PR
Yeah,
moves, really greedy, shady shit. But they shook back
yeah,
and
and they
now they
recovered,
underneath
and
Microsoft's wing.
that game turned
And
around.
and now we waiting on
And now we
Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6,
and Elder Scrolls 6. Hey, let's
and
get it.
what else is coming? What and anything else that's coming.
I think this
So
just proves that at the end of the day, you can't make everyone happy. You can't make every generation of console happy.
Nope.
So you just
no,
gotta go with the next greatest one or the next best thing, and everyone else is either gonna have to suck it up or upgrade.
I just didn't because I was talking that shit about consoles getting left behind. I didn't
Mhm.
think it was gonna be that soon.
That soon. Yeah, neither. I honestly, and I was toting that flag. Like I was 100% certain that, but
But
and
again,
that
this is
was
a big game. But
yeah.
again,
This not gonna happen with a lot of the releases. There'll
yeah,
be a handful of releases that this has to happen, where previous gen is gonna have to get left behind sooner than later. This whenever, honestly, and not for nothing, because I would have hoped. I have no doubt in my mind that I will have upgraded by then. There should be absolutely again, and I know Microsoft has to do what they do, in terms of Game Pass and all that shit. I get it. I get that. But Elder Scrolls 6 has no business being on last gen. I
oh no, that shit not gonna fly.
just just
No, let it go.
I just
Let it go.
even
Starfield
being
can
a
do
car
it.
even yeah, Starfield, because it's in a
Starfield. It's a
closer
new
window,
and it's a new
and
IP.
yeah, that can get away with it, because that has we know that's coming sooner.
Hmm.
Elder Scrolls 6 ain't coming anytime soon.
By
But
2025, that
it,
console
there should be no reason whatsoever. And for them and for Bethesda, I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason why there's
it
no
hasn't
talk
been
of that
out.
now. Like, hey, we're not working. It's coming, but we're not. Don't expect that anytime soon. We're
You
not
saw
even
the
thinking about
concept
that
of the
right now,
world in the teaser trailer. The thing was
bruh.
the
That is
biggest
that
thing I've
is
ever seen.
PS5,
Series X
Series S,
Pro,
and
PS5
PC.
Pro,
That's it.
PC. That's all you
Yes,
see
it'll
that
go
on.
first day on Game Pass, but you gonna need a Series X or a Series S to play that. And you
Or
got no
the new Jones is gonna come out
whatever's gonna
probably
be
in
by
22,
then. Yeah, what
2023
correct,
that I'm gonna have to trade this thing in for.
basically. But we're gonna, because by then we shouldn't even be talking about base PS4s and Xbox Ones anymore. That's gonna be dated. Okay.
100% dated. But now be wary. I would say if I go out with anything, be wary of what you pre-order, um,
Mm-hmm.
just based off of hype and
Right.
marketing alone. Because you saw it with Spider-Man, uh, and the Miles Morales thing, and how they backtracked and went this way and went that way. You can see it even now with this and Cyberpunk. There's going to be more games. EA and Madden, whatever the game is, in this transitionary window, you have to be really careful unless you already know what you're getting. Like Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I
Ooh,
know what I'm getting.
ooh.
It's Mass Effect. I've played it literally a billion times. It's
Speaking of
just gonna
which,
look better
got that Legendary Edition pre-orders have gone live
on
on
Amazon only
Amazon.
right now.
That's okay though.
It's
They
okay.
they, they are there.
They are
Spring.
they're there. Spring
I'm ready for that.
2021. I
I'm ready
probably
for a
right
replay
around
through,
March. I'm assuming probably early March.
and that because I'll finally get around to beating Mass Effect 3.
I think you'll enjoy it. People really be whatever about it, but no game can end perfectly, and every trilogy like that gotta end. So
Yeah, of course, and that's fine. But
yeah,
and
but you
of
should
course
definitely finish that, especially if
I will
this
for
new
that.
game that's coming out is supposed
Yes.
to potentially take place. And since Liara is in her matriarch stage,
Mm-hmm.
being much older, it's supposed to take maybe 100 or 200 years after Shepard. And
Mm-hmm.
people are skeptical if he's alive or dead or got put in cryostasis
Right.
somewhere, and people are looking for him. So
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready for all of that.
bring
And
me all the Mass Effect and give me a multiplayer.
true. Sure, I'll take a multiplayer.
Yeah, there's like a horde mode type deal where you level
I
up the
don't need
horde.
it, but I'll take it.
Nah, it's just something for fun. But in Mass Effect 2, or no, it was 3.
Because some games
Like
just need to be
you
single
playing
player.
you playing multiplayer. It was a team-based multiplayer, like horde mode,
I
where
remember. I played some
yeah,
of it. I was
you
online with that a little bit.
you needed to do some of it to help you in your
This
story
true.
progress towards the end,
Yes, I vaguely
which was
remember
a
that.
really cool concept, I think.
That is a cool
And
concept.
it forced you to play with people, but not against people.
Right.
So you kind of felt it felt different,
Hmm.
especially
Okay.
for it to actually matter, kind of. If you wanted, a good ending, perchance, or what
Right.
the good ending could have been.
But I'll probably be playing Skyrim until that comes out
You
anyway.
probably will.
So,
See
cause I
you
ain't
in
got shit else to
March.
play.
Yo,
Quite
you ain't
frankly,
gotta
other
play
than the little
anything
things,
else.
other than these little random things that keep dropping in on Game Pass,
So,
the best deal in gaming history. I just like
where did you answer me one? Probably a couple questions, cause I got a few about Skyrim.
fabulous.
Where did you
Here
go
for all
when
of
you
this.
first got out of the cave?
Um, out of the cave. So after the dragon in the
After the
beginning.
dragon
Okay.
escape. After you escaped Helgen, where did you
Um,
go?
I don't know. I went like off to the left, and then I found like the Guardian Stones.
Okay, yeah, the Guardian Stones. So yeah, that's
I was like, oh, okay.
generally, yeah,
I
they
was gonna
kind of
cross.
guide you there anyway. But yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna cross that river that was right across there, and
that's a good option.
let me
So
not.
you
And I
buck
just
to the
went the other
right
way. I ended up heading
to
towards
town.
Riverwood,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah. So I ended up going to the town. Um, I'm going through. I realized how now we're gonna get into my play styles that I for the type of player that I am in these games.
I'm actually curious because I don't know if I've ever heard of this person or this character. You know the characters I make. But
Yes, you quintessentially have a build that you go towards in these games. You're very, it's ranger, archer, etc. style of player. Um, I always go back and forth on these things, but I always end up realizing, especially once I try to do one playthrough, and I'm like, I should have just went whatchamacallit. And I did the same thing in Cyberpunk. I realized that I'm a real like frontline straight
Shield,
head ass
do you
like
like
when I because I'm gonna restart Cyberpunk, I'm just gonna be a straight shooting. Like I started and I was
the
doing like stealth,
hacking
and I
and
was like,
stealth and
you know
shit?
what? Let me
Give me
just go
the
guns blazing
Berserker
up in this
mod and just go fucking
bitch.
nuts in this shit.
So yeah, I started Skyrim. I'm like, yo, I was like, should I do shield? And I was like, I saw the two handed. I was like, I don't really want to. I was like, the two handed is so slow. So right now I'm doing shield and one handed weapon, and I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna stick with that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, shield in sword is one of the most, especially the shield skill. If you max it out, is one of the most underrated and OP skills you can have in Skyrim.
Yeah, because I've noticed that just attacking like have those first few battles I've gotten into
Yeah,
people and they block, like yo,
nah, bow bow.
like
Until your
that is
shield bash start
come
knocking people
on.
down and shit.
Yeah,
And
so I'm like, yo, I'm just going straightforward. I'm putting all my. I know where I'm putting. Like I saw like I got my first level up, and I was like, I wish I might put my points. This is it got all those categories of constellations, and I'm like, I I, I went past so many. I was like, yep, I don't even need stealth. Nope, I ain't. I was like,
mm-hmm.
where's the? I was like,
If you're
yep,
gonna go
there it
heavy
goes.
armor, drop your heavy
Yep,
armor
heavy armor.
skill.
I was like, I'm heavy armor. I'm gonna be heavy armor, and I actually dropped that first point. I actually dropped it into the whatever the dialogue thing is.
The speechcraft,
Yeah, I was like, let me just
which
throw
is
a
a
point in
very
there.
good to invest in early because investing
Yeah,
in late game is annoying. It is.
because most of the stuff right now, and this is why I love Elder Scrolls because history for me, you know, Elder Scrolls is not Skyrim is not my first rodeo for Elder Scrolls. Like I played Morrowind. Um
Ooh, oh bike.
um
Wow.
which was Elder Scrolls 3.
Yeah.
Um and I had played it on PC and I played and then they dropped it on the OG Xbox and I was playing it and it jived for me, which was a big changed for me because my RPG, kind of territory
Experiences
was
was like
always JRPG,
JRPG. Yeah,
and I
I
still
knew
love
that.
JRPGs. But Elder Scrolls spoke to me in a way that was so different from what JRPGs do, and that new style of Western RPG, which Microsoft really pushed forward with, bringing Elder Scrolls to console. Let's not forget that Microsoft did that because the PS2 couldn't handle Morrowind.
Oh
It
my
was
god,
shot in hell.
could
Um,
barely handle GTA San Andreas,
right. So they
which
brought that.
OG
They
Xbox ran very well.
Yes, it did. They brought Fable to the game, so Microsoft really has a footing in what became the Western. I mean, it's an American console. Sony was they were always killing for JRPGs because it's a Japanese system, Japanese company. So, but I was Morrowind. The eye opening moment for me was like just doing basic things, and I'm glad that they stuck with those principles of doing basic things, and that's how you upgrade that stuff, right? So like
Just crafting an iron
just
dagger, you're working on smithing.
moving
Just
around the field, moving around the world, and just like jumping just randomly would
athletics.
increase the certain thing. I was like, oh, that's great. So fast forward to Skyrim, just going through just that intro mission, and like halfway through between that and the first town, like my shield, my single-handed ability upgraded because I was in those fights. My shield, skills upgraded. I think either my shield or my single hand was already at
I'm sure.
27.
And if you went
So,
to that warrior stone, you about to be powering through those
and that's what I
levels. If
did. I
you,
chose the
yeah.
warrior stone. My
Mm-hmm.
classes, when I started,
You
I chose a
you
red
don't need
guard.
no help, man.
So,
Yeah, you chose a perfect build for a shield
so-
and sword. So with the adrenaline rush, come on, man. You know what you're doing. Outside of just being black, and that's the only black character. But you can
pretty
put a
much.
mohawk on with some dreads
Hey,
and a fire goatee. Like you can
right.
get some there's a pretty dope goatee on there.
Yeah, they do. They have some for a game that doesn't have a vast amount of options for that. They have the right options, which I think is
And you ain't even play with the mods yet.
I didn't. I open. It's funny because before I started the game, I opened the mods tab. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'll
Yeah.
come back to this, but I see what's going
But
on
but
here.
I would definitely say experience the game first without them
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
That's why I was like, because I know, I know what that mod life is like. So I was like, I'll come back to that. But this
100%.
is, I've instantly fallen in love with this game. I feel like I had partially done that the first time I played it, but I couldn't really invest. But yeah, I just with nothing else going on, and again, Cyberpunk having the issues it's having, and I'm just like, yeah, I I'm I'm for this right now. I'm whole on Skyrim right now. So yeah.
So boom, I got three more questions real fast.
Oh, it's great.
It
I love
got to
this.
do with just your Skyrim journey, which you're gonna have to probably potentially invest in.
Mm.
Werewolf or vampire?
Oh
They're gonna be
shit.
trees that you can
Oh,
jump
that's
into
right.
if you choose.
Forgot about that.
And you can back out and probably do both after maybe remove the curse
Werewolf.
if you choose werewolf. Good, good, good. Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood first.
um, I feel like Dark Brotherhood. I think. Yeah.
And also keep in mind that if you do choose, going back to the last question, if you do choose vampire, there is the Dawnguard quest line, which was the DLC, which
Mm-hmm.
allows you to become a vampire lord and
Mm.
not just become a regular vampire because you can
Oh,
contracted the virus regularly and had stage of the vampire disease it would have made you more dangerous but more susceptible to sunlight or fire damage or
right.
whatever. That was the regular shit. But then with the Dawnguard DLC, they actually added an ability tree when you transform into this vampire creature, um, similar to a werewolf, to where you
Mm-hmm.
upgrade those perk points when you are using that mode.
Mm.
which is a power that'll be in your power tree. You'll left bumper, right bumper it, and you'll turn into that once a day. But you could even turn your family, your wife or husband or whatever you decide to take on and move in into your house, and you can turn your kids too
Hmm.
into vampires. That's a nice little
That's
interesting thing that
dope
you
as
can
shit.
take on.
I'm about to get lost in this game.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be wild. Enjoy,
Jesus.
enjoy.
Yeah, can't wait. Um, yeah. So got all that cyberpunk crap out the way. Um, we'll see what happens with how CD Project Red recovers from this. Well,
It's gonna take some time.
yeah,
That's
it'll
for
take
sure.
some time, but they'll get around. They'll get there. You know, it's fine. It is what it is. um, man, I feel like I don't think I missed anything. I think
I don't
we
think so.
covered all the important stuff there.
Uh, yeah, for the most part, at least.
By the way, just for newsflash for everybody, Among Us has officially hit consoles. And I say consoles just for the sake of using it in plural terms. But for everybody that doesn't know, Among Us is now available on Nintendo Switch for $5.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know
Now,
it came to
granted,
Switch and comes to Xbox in
Game Pass,
2021.
right? It's on Game Pass PC at the moment.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it is hit PC Game Pass.
Oh,
And yes, as
talk to me.
you are correct, it's coming to console Game Pass next year. But
Yes.
the first console to get it is the Switch. So it's still kicking. Among Us is still out here.
It's
You
gonna
know,
always be kicking, man.
yeah,
Especially when you got. It's just gonna have that niche community, no matter what.
yeah,
Those mobile gamers that make up literally like 90% of all gamers in the entire world.
for real.
These are the people that play these games.
Yeah,
Those
and you know that Switch,
the Call of Duty mobile people. It's these people.
that Switch supremacy strikes again.
Don't Nintendo this
Switch
because
supremacy. Hey, you know, did you
don't Nintendo this. Don't Nintendo this.
did you
Don't do this. We're not doing this right now. We're out of time. Hello?
did you
Hello? Dre?
do we have the numbers for the best-selling console?
Dre, stop this right now. Stop it. Stop the recording.
I think the best-selling console this year. I don't know.
We're not even at
I
an
didn't look up
hour
the
yet.
numbers.
The best-selling console this year,
Yep.
even with the scalpers?
Even with the scalpers.
I don't believe it.
Units sold. You want to pull it up? Oh, hold on.
I
Pull
don't
up.
believe it. I don't
Hmm.
believe it.
Now we're not talking dollars because you're talking about $500 consoles that are on the market right now. So we're not talking about dollars. It's NPD, right? Hold on.
But your console, but you can't compare that because your consoles
Huh?
are literally $100 to $200 less. Sometimes
Why?
3 if you get the light. You just
What?
said
Alright,
you can't compare
So,
dollars. How can
according
you
according to data, the Nintendo Switch is the top selling game console in 2020 with 15.6 million units sold as of
Yeah, because they have a
September,
fucking $200 console.
65% more than
Don't do
PlayStation
that.
4 and Xbox combined.
Oh, they said as of September. The consoles ain't even dropped. They didn't even add next
matter.
gen.
It don't matter.
It does matter.
I'll
It's
pull it up
not
for
even
you.
the same calendar year.
I'll pull it up. Hold on.
It's not even in the same calendar year, so no, it
It's not
don't
gonna
count.
matter. Not gonna matter.
Whatever.
Okay, here we go. As of December 16th,
Mm.
yeah, as of December 16th, oh wait, this is all time.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
okay. I'll take all time.
But okay, so as of December 16th, all time, obviously PlayStation 2 is still number one at 157.
All time? How we get here?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let the man
What?
talk.
150
No.
157.68 mil. I'm skipping handheld consoles
Yeah,
or
don't worry about
handheld devices. But technically, the Nintendo DS and the Game Boy come in 2 and 3. PlayStation 4, 113.16 mil.
Mm.
PlayStation, 102.5 mil.
Mm.
The Wii at 101.64.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 3, 87.41. Xbox 360, 85.8.
Mm-hmm.
the Switch at 63.93.
Hmm.
Super Nintendo at 49.1, and the Xbox One rounds out the top 15 at 48.37.
Hmm. The Nintendo Switch busting in your head. Yo, I think you muted yourself. Hmm.
That shit was
There you go.
13.
Yeah, but we're talking all time. Notice that the consoles that you mentioned stuff is not even in production
No,
anymore.
the Switch was 12.
Right.
So the Switch is the 12th most sold system of all time.
Of all time.
Now here's the thing though. This Courtney could have an argument
No, you can't.
if
Thank
they're
you.
combining Switch and Switch Lite.
Which they are. So he doesn't have
They
an argument.
are.
Of course they are.
So if they split that up,
Because they're
then
because if you count the same console generation, the entire one,
Look,
we
PS4
gonna
sales
win.
and Xbox sales include
Yo,
whether it's Xbox One
cut the
X,
tape,
Xbox
cut
One
his
S,
microphone. Mute him,
PS4
mute him
Pro.
right now. Yo,
I'm just saying.
get this man. He in denial, son.
I'm in denial. Not
Mhm.
the numbers speak for themselves, sir. Nintendo Switch, the Switch supremacy. I wonder if I can get that TM.
You making the
but
numbers work for you?
for
That
the
don't
Xbox
count.
One,
No.
that's interesting. Because I've had all, well, I say all three, but all three variations of the one. I had the OG one, I had the S, and then now I have
All the
One.
same. So add all of them up and then add the Switch numbers together and let's see which one match.
Switch still gonna be killing.
And that's the thing. I don't know if for Xbox One, I don't know if they're adding all three variations. I would assume, but I'm not entirely sure. Let me see if I can find another.
Yeah, you would have to say how many you have to see how many Xbox
You want MPD
One,
hardware
like-
sales from November?
You said what?
Did you want them MPD hardware sales from November?
No.
Here's all you need to know. Okay. Nintendo Switch has been the best-selling hardware platform in units sold for a record 24 consecutive months.
Great. What do you do?
Just
Because
saying.
the console's $200. Of
300.
course it is.
The Switch
The
Lite,
Lite
is
is
200.
200.
Okay.
And that's what everybody buying.
And let's not forget that a lot of people,
That's what
because
mad
of
people
that-
buying.
because of that though, yes, but because of that, a lot of people own both in a lot of households, especially with multiple kids and shit. You'll have a Switch, and then there's a Switch
And then
Lite.
you're proving my point even more.
Which point is that, sir?
That you can buy more of them because they're cheaper.
What that mean? Yes, they're cheaper.
The
but
same
what's the point?
argument that you didn't want to compare numbers in regards to dollars. Let's compare dollars because that's the bottom line.
Well, yeah, I
Like
mean
how
dollars.
we had one
PlayStation.
PlayStation 2 in the house, but my brother and I each had our own Game Boy Advance. Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance, Game Boy Color. So I mean, the cheaper, and I understand it's console versus portable, but basically what Courtney's saying is the cheaper device you can have multiples of.
You can give your whole family them shits.
That's not my problem.
What? I'm not having this conversation.
Not my problem.
I'm not having this conversation. And I like Nintendo.
I know, but it's not about It's not about the price of them doesn't dictate like a lack of quality.
Of course not.
Just
Now
it
you
is
tell
what it
me
is.
is the Nintendo Switch the best console ever made? No.
No. I'm not gonna say it. The answer to that question is a Super Nintendo, but
And it's behind it.
correct, as it should be. But it won't stay that way. Eventually, the Switch will be probably Nintendo's best-selling console.
No,
Hopefully,
I'm
passes
saying
the
the Super Nintendo is behind the Switch.
No, I think the Switch. I think the SNES was still higher.
It was
No,
13. I think that's the one that was 13.
the SNES was just above the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
That was 14.
Got it. Yeah, I think yes, that's what it was. They had just recently passed the Super Nintendo. Yeah. Hopefully they can catch a Wii, but
That's not happening.
It could
Unless they
over the life
combine
of the Switch. Yeah,
over the entire life, since you combining all them shits to your
it's only
liking.
2 right now. It's only 2
Yeah,
models.
yeah, it's gonna be 3 by next year,
Great, even better.
and then you're gonna count them too.
Of
Nope,
course,
nah,
of
they
course you
gotta
are.
be by
Nah.
themselves.
It's the same thing with the
Absolutely.
DS.
It's not.
The
Nope.
DS is counted as one thing, which is why it's so high.
Gotta call all them Xboxes is the same thing.
There's about, I don't know, 9 different model DSs,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I'm lowballing because it's probably closer to 15.
Nah, there was definitely a shit ton of those things.
So, but they all count as one on that list that Dre just spouted out for us. The
Mhm.
DS is what was second or third on that list because
Second.
they all count as one.
And
All
you can
anything
buy
with
a
DS in the
lot of
title
them.
counted as one.
You
DS,
can buy
DS,
a lot of them. I
2DS,
guarantee you, the
2DS.
Xbox was $20. God damn it! Of course, it'd be the best-selling console on the market, and that's my point. All right. So
That's a terrible number to pick.
I mean, yes, it's a terrible number, but it puts my point into perspective. Of course,
Okay,
it's
so
gonna have
here's
those numbers.
just a fun
It's
fact.
when a
So,
console is worth $300 and $400, $500 at release, and it's up
this
there
is
because that's what the PS2 was.
yeah, it's true. This is the DS system or the DS family.
That's impressive. The
So you've got
PS2 sales is impressive.
you've got the Nintendo DS, the DS Lite, the DSi,
DSi,
the DSi XL.
What the
XL, yep.
And
Then it
that's
went to that was it for the DS, and then I think it went after that. Then it went to 3DS.
maybe yeah. So then you've got 3DS, 3DS XL.
There was like a 2XL, wasn't there?
Yep. And then there was a new 3DS, and it was
There was a mini one there.
2DS. Then it was a 2DS, another model of 2DS.
So
Gotta be
all in
around 10.
all, 154 million units.
Yeah,
Now
gotta be around 10.
we can see what the Xbox numbers do. With the fact
I mean, also,
you got the Series S.
That's what I'm saying. You
much
banging on the
cheaper.
Switch for being $300, but that Series S $300 also. So what we talking about?
Now, I'm saying now, but you
Shit,
don't
the
want to
PS5
count.
digital edition is
You ain't want to
400.
count. You ain't want to count my consoles when I just brought them up. That's my point.
I'll count them just fine. You count everything together. That's how we do
all
this.
of it.
That's
All
okay.
of
You
it.
count it. That's okay. We can
All
count
of
all
it.
of it.
Even the Xbox controllers
Yikes. Yeah.
and your cell phones that got Game Pass now.
Now you just reach them.
Nope.
Speaking of which, Skyrim is available on cloud gaming,
which comes to
I haven't
Apple
tried it yet,
devices soon.
but best believe I'm gonna be getting extra Skyrim time in random
Yo,
places.
popping out Skyrim on your phone, just all willy
That's not right. That's
Like
not
that
right.
is gonna separate so many families
It's not right.
at holiday dinner.
Yes, cloud gaming it's on its way. I've told people this. It works great over Wi-Fi. It's spotty over LTE. Cloud gaming will take
Probably
off once we get to
be
5G.
Yeah, when 5G goes, whatever.
World live, like kind of standard. Once 5G becomes a standard, then cloud gaming.
That might be
Once
another 2 years
once we
ago.
achieve the
Yeah.
place where we can have a global network, that's when that shit gonna be proper.
Yeah, but it's waiting. It's in the wings. The foundation, the structure is there, and it's just waiting to take advantage of that. That infrastructure, which isn't there yet, but it's coming. But it's ready.
Yeah. We right around the corner, man.
We are. And again, Game Pass is great. The best deal in gaming.
The best deal in gaming
history. Period. Even when they eventually up the price, because they will.
They have to.
I'm not gonna. There's no way you can keep giving people
what you're
giving them for $15 and keep adding. You keep adding.
You can't. As soon as the Elder Scrolls 6 drops on there, that shit's gonna be $30, and I'm gonna be okay with it.
Now they gotta do those incremental jumps like Netflix does.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna be $22 probably by 2025.
That's okay. That's fine. I'm fine with that as long as it's incremental. Because, like I said, think about like Netflix is now at $18, so now you pay more for Netflix than for Game Pass,
True.
which is why I would pick Game Pass over Netflix if I had to. If I had to pick one. Yep, I said that last week, and I'm sticking by it. I'm putting a stamp in that. I put my
I
foot
would
in that.
too.
I'll die on that hill.
As you should. As you should. Without a shadow of a doubt.
In fact, if somebody told me, yo, you could only have one streaming service, you got to pick one, I would say, okay, Game
Game
Pass.
Pass. Because I can still have YouTube because it's not a streaming service.
Exactly, correct. So you
I'll be all right.
take back Netflix,
I will
Hulu, Disney,
manage.
all of it. Take it all back.
You can have it. You can have it.
Just give me my Game Pass and I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I had a brief moment of speaking of streaming services, and this is getting off of our games related topic, but I had a moment where I was like, yo, do I want HBO Max? And is there something I can cancel to get HBO Max? Because now I'm looking at I'm
Maybe
like,
for
yo,
this year?
HBO Max is looking mighty lit on the come up right now for like
For
what's
this upcoming
coming.
next 2 years? Yeah.
Like
Something gotta take a L, or you just gonna have to. You just
because
gonna have
that's
to. Matter of
15.
fact,
That's 15 a month.
I mean,
So I'm like,
honestly, just come. You just need to come down to the spot when you try to
that's
watch
true
some shit.
too. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's 20
Because you
minutes of
talking about
Matrix 4.
we getting all
Come
them
on.
WB movies
Matrix
day
4? John
of
Wick?
release, bruh.
Come on.
Wonder Woman is Christmas. That's next week.
I heard
Wonder Woman 84.
people are already dropping reviews. I haven't looked at any yet. I'm curious.
I'm slightly shameful for this at the moment, but I've yet to watch the original Wonder Woman.
I
I'm
enjoyed
not
it.
sure. I
It was
heard it was
good.
good. Everybody told me it was real good.
Enjoyed
Like,
it.
Real good.
but
Captain Marvel tried to double back and it fell short. But
how
we're not gonna talk about that.
I have watched all the other movies, I have it. I maybe haven't seen the best one of the bunch.
How you call
Like I
yourself
saw
a DC
Aquaman, I
fan?
saw the Batman v Superman, I saw, you know, even
The
the
shit
bad
you don't.
Wonder
Superman
Yeah,
Woman
movie.
about to
is probably
say.
arguably DC's best movie in this
Yes,
new.
and it's the only one I
this
haven't
new,
seen.
Universe
The Birds of Prey movie was fantastic.
until the Snyder Cut comes out.
Right,
So we hope.
4 hours.
Hopefully,
That's gonna
please,
be an event.
please,
That's
please,
gonna be an
please.
event.
Oh yeah,
Like we're
come
gonna have.
through. Come
Oh, we're gonna. Oh yeah,
through.
we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to come through to watch that. That's gonna be
Big
an
surround
event.
sound.
Oh my god,
Yeah, with the little recliner chairs.
bruh. So Lord have mercy. That's a Jesus.
You gonna do that one right? Do that one right.
Because we thought Titanic and Avatar was long.
4 hours, bro.
Snyder got nothing on that.
We're
Like
gonna
we got
take
something for
breaks.
that. Hold my beer. Like
Intermissions.
we thought those were long. Jesus Christ.
4 hours. Lord of
I'm
the
here
Rings
for it.
plus deleted
It's a
scene.
Lord of the Rings plus the credits. So like if you sat through the credits of the extended cut for Lord of the
long
Rings,
credits, yo, them
those
credits was
credits never.
brolic.
Yo, the Lord of the Rings
The
extended
credits
cut
was
credits.
like
It's a
35
solid
minutes.
half an hour, bro.
Yeah, solid 35 minutes. Easily.
Like,
Easily.
I had the DVD for that, and like the movie ended, and I was doing other stuff, and the credits were still running. And I was doing something on my computer. I was like, "Yo, why are the credits still running?" And it was
pause
mad
it?
long after. Like, hold on.
Did I watch the movie again?
I was like, wait a second. Let me rewatch. Let me see how long this is. I was like, yo, it was smooth like 30 minutes. I'm like, yo, that is wild.
That's great.
That is wild. But that's what's up. I'm out here. We out here.
Lit,
We're
baby.
doing it. We're doing the damn thing.
Trying.
Well, that was fun, people, ladies and gentlemen.
Ayo.
So we managed to string out all this CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk talk again. So my recommendation for people, if you happen to be somebody that does not have a next gen console or a PC, which is not a lot of you, one, because next gen consoles just supply and demand, and two, most of you are scared to step into the world of PC gaming, and you just don't do it. So, uh, I can imagine a lot of
was that a
you.
shot?
No, no, I would. I'm just
I felt
stating.
like a
Just
shot.
stating. I mean, I'm just stating a fact. That's all.
I
It's all
felt
right.
like a shot. I felt like a
Well,
master race shot,
I
but I'll
mean,
let it pass for
that's
now.
that's fine.
Continue.
If you have a One X or a PS4 Pro, then you should be fine. But if you do not, which a lot of you do not, again, we're talking between PS4s and OG and Xbox Ones, we're talking about upwards of 150, 60, 70 million people. Unfortunately, you should not purchase this game right now. That's just is what it is. Your experience is going to be poor at, maybe not at best, but at average is going to be poor.
But
So
even at the worst, almost I'm sure half of those people that pre-ordered Cyberpunk already paid
right.
and
And
aren't
if
getting
you
it.
unfortunately are like somebody who happens to be getting this game for Christmas and you don't know it, that you open this joint up and you're just stuck with it. I mean, aside from maybe selling to somebody or trading it in, but
Oh, like that $250 collector's edition that you can't even really use that you wanted to use for the new console that you can't actually play because whoops.
you can't buy this game right now. And honestly, you got to wait till probably like February after that second patch before you even consider buying this game.
And then Outriders is gonna be out.
So many other things. Yeah. In the
Um,
meantime, you can play Skyrim, but of
you
course, you have
can
Game Pass. So go get Game Pass if you don't have
but
it already. Even if you got a
dive back
PlayStation, go get
in.
Game Pass.
Yeah, I got a free code.
Yeah, there you go. Go get Game Pass, please. Just do it. Don't ask any questions. Just go do it. And don't buy Cyberpunk if you have a base PS4 or Xbox One. That point blank.
But
No
even
two ways
that,
around
like
it.
I feel like no, I don't know anybody that actually plays it on the OG.
Neither do
Now I
I.
think about it.
Neither do I. But if you somebody who's considering it and you've heard what you've heard,
Did Keith not get it?
The rumors are true.
What'd you say, Dre?
Did Keith or Dev not get it? Because I know they both are
I
running
don't.
the
Th-
OG Xbox.
I don't think they did.
Nah, Keith's
This is not
not
their
getting
type of
no
game.
game until it's definitely a Keith type of game, but
Yeah,
he's
dev.
not
This is
getting it
not
until
a.
he's getting his console.
Yeah, this is not a dev type of game. Free dev.
Free
Um.
dev.
Plus, Dev. Me and Dre mentioned that Dev. Shout out to Dev because Dev is that dude. You know, we was getting on him because man was out here with Game Pass and the regular Game Pass and Xbox Live and EA Access, paying for everything separately. I was like, yo, Dev is like that dude that goes to a fast food joint and is like, all right, let me get a burger, fries and a drink all separate. Person's like, yo, you want just a
I
meal?
mean,
Nah,
nah,
I'm
nah,
good.
nah,
I'm good on
nah.
that. Good on the meal,
Nah,
bro. Just give
it's
me.
cheaper.
I
Nah,
asked for
nah,
what I asked for.
nah.
Give me what I asked for.
Oh, speaking of Dev, Dash, we just advanced in the Madden League, and you and Dev play each other this week.
Her
What's my
Dev's out here
record? Because
taking these L's.
I ain't play a game this year.
Your record is 2, and you have 2 wins. He has 1 win.
Yikes.
Hey, battle of the L's. I mean, I
Trash.
should just give Dev his dub or let it sim because I'm probably not gonna get on that shit unless Dev is like on right now.
Ooh. That sucks.
He just said something in the group, so he probably is on right now.
Ooh. Mm. Who gonna stream it though?
I'm about to go to sleep.
That's a lie.
Not.
I'm not streaming that shit, man.
Well,
He can, but yeah,
that is
fun.
that. We're gonna close this out. We appreciate y'all for joining us for the tentative comeback / reboot of the Flash and Dash podcast. We'll be back. There's more stuff coming. There's more games coming as usual. and we would try to get it and the information out to you as quickly and as in a timely fashion.
Oh, stay tuned. SGA podcast coming soon. You'll probably soon after this.
Yep.
You'll probably see
Right,
it
it's
if you
coming
see
soon.
this.
We're trying to get the
After.
SGA Olympics underway at some point in time, but people have a tendency of like ducking other people, so it's kind of like tough to get those things situated because they know like certain games they just gonna take a loss, so they're like, why should I even bother playing? And I get that, that's fine, but there's probably gonna be a lot of forfeits
Dre, he talking to you?
in this
He
event.
he is definitely not talking about me. I'm
That
very competitive, and I'm gonna show up whether I think if I know I'm not gonna win, I at least think I'm gonna win.
there you go. So
I got confidence.
that's what we like to hear. So let's
Sound like you about to take an L, Dre.
that's what we're for. That's what wow.
What happened the
That's-
last time you and I played Madden?
Hmm.
You want to talk about Madden?
That's one of the games we're playing.
And what happened the last time we played Madden? You lost.
I won. What are you talking
You
about?
lost.
Fletcher Cox was all over your team.
You lost. We 1-1, aren't we? In Madden 21?
Yeah, Madden 21, we're 1-1.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Against Dev, I'm
I'm undefeated against
I'm
that
2-0
nigga.
against him in Madden 21. I'm 1-0 against
Undefeated,
C.
period.
I'm
Against
0-1 against Aaron, but it should be 1-0. I lost because my linebacker doesn't know how to catch interceptions. He decided to
Sounds
knock
like
the ball
excuses.
down.
Yeah, sound like
bro,
you lost.
It was tragic. I was down 35-7, and then I ended up tying the game 42-42. And we went to overtime because my linebacker was trash.
How did you even pull off that comeback?
I learned how to use Jalen Rager.
That's fair. Speed kills.
Speed does kill.
Always. In every video
And
game.
then
Who
who
let
else
that
has
happen?
I haven't played anybody else out after you all in Madden 21, at least within this group.
Yuck.
Yeah. Like I said, people will stop ducking.
What the hell, boy? What is this?
People will stop ducking
What is this?
the challenges on the table.
Wow.
But
Who taught their dad how to use the computer?
Somebody go get this man, please.
till that happens,
Yo,
it's
you
just
gonna
another day.
you gonna live to regret this if you catch L's. I hope you know that.
Well,
Cause they gonna be tears under them shades, and I'm gonna draw myself on the Paint app.
Oh, you know we're gonna screenshot this.
Oh, this needs to be the thumbnail. So figure it out however it need to be. Make sure I don't look crazy.
I don't claim that I'm going to sweep anything here. Look.
So what are you claiming at all? Why put the shades on at all?
Hey, look, I'm just saying because there's an overall title.
What do I have to deal with?
I'm just saying there's an overall
We don't
title.
even have the full game list solidified
We don't.
yet.
I'm not gonna win anything.
We
in
need
Madden.
to do that at least by this week.
And anybody that takes a loss to me in Madden should have to make the walk of shame.
So
no one
it's all tournament style, randomized, like
should be. Each of the games should all be. Each of the
games have a tournament style, and we run it.
It should be structured that way, correct? But yes.
Well, the only thing for like Call of Duty or Halo, whichever one, like it would just be like a custom.
Well, that's if somebody called.
Yeah, except for those.
We just have to
that's if somebody chose that, though. I don't think anybody choosing Halo.
Well, we did. No, we did settle on a shooter.
Oh, we did have to settle on a shooter. Oh, okay.
Correct.
Oh, well, y'all lost.
So that's gonna be like.
But we just gotta figure out the teams. That's the only thing. Unless we do a massive free for all.
It's free for all.
I was gonna say free for all.
Free for all, like that. Best 2 out of 3, maybe, or some shit.
Right, and top
and
3
highest
scores
score,
points, or top 2 scores points, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I say just add up score after all 3 rounds.
Yeah,
right, that works.
That does work. So people gonna
so
be out
you
here.
got a chance to wild out one round and catch up. That shit would make it wild interesting. That shit actually sounds kind of dope.
It would be wild interesting as long as we
unless
be
you win all 3 times, then
hey, It is what it is. But I know what's gonna happen when we get to the fighting game round. But that's neither here nor there.
Mm.
Don't catch no L there, because you ain't gonna have no leg to stand on at that point. You gotta sweep that. Like you have to win that. You know you have to win that.
You don't do this.
I'm telling you. Like I'm not even saying it's gonna be me,
You're
but
right,
you
'cause
gotta
I'm not
win
gonna
it.
win Madden, so you're right about that. So I gotta you damn right about that. Plus whatever game I
Matter of
bring to the
fact,
table.
because I think I'm gonna put UFC 3 on the table.
Ah, see you a bitch.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm not sure yet, but I think that might be the game I put on the table because it's on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass. Hmm.
Oh.
Well, with that said, again, yeah, I appreciate
gonna be
y'all
exciting.
coming through.
And I'm gonna figure out how
yes,
to do this so I can
it is gonna be
add
exciting.
some cool little images to my face.
And we're here. We're here. We are
Here,
all over the
clicking button.
place.
Let me find
We're that's in
buttons
the
over here.
filters. So Dre,
Filters.
if you could do me the honors of giving the beautiful people out there just a very brief rundown of the Flash and Dash affiliated stuff here and such.
All
You
right,
know,
y'all.
do what you
So
do.
for the Flash and Dash affiliated social media links, obviously you can follow us on YouTube at Sports Gaming Anonymous. You can follow us on Instagram at Sports Gaming Anonymous, Twitter, Sports Games Anon. You can follow both Flash and Dash at their respective I was about to say
Hey,
Twitter
we-
pages. You can do their Twitter pages, Flash
Yep,
and
sure can.
SJ Flash, SGA Dash. You can
Correct.
also follow them on
Everything.
their respective Twitch pages. And for Flash and Dash, that's it.
You dang right.
And then obviously
And
join the Facebook group Sports Game Anonymous if you do so.
Boy, if you don't get your hamburger, oh, we in this bit. I'm in this bit. Look at me. Oh, I'm in Cali.
yours were good.
Yo, we in that thing. Yo, I'm about to go to space. I got to talk to Commander Shepard.
Oh my God.
Or you just joined the Space Force on us?
Clearly.
Nah, I just got spaced. Kind of sus. Oh, no.
Kind of sus. Sus. Black sus. Well, that's it. Appreciate everybody for joining us again for another episode of the Flash and Dash podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes, further episodes, and stay tuned for more episodes of the Sports Gaming Anonymous podcast. Thank you guys. Catch y'all next time. Peace out.